Hello, everybody. This is the 67th episode of Sunny Phi Side with Jeff Walker. We talking sports take. We have a prominent guest, and we have our sports crew, and we're ready to go, everybody. We got a lot to talk about. NBA playoffs are happening. There's been some surprises. There's been some upsets. Joel Embiid and Carl Anthony Towns are throwing down right now. Let's talk about it. Jeff, what do you say about the NBA playoffs?
Oh man, it's hot, man. It's hot. I love this time of the season. Outstanding. As you see what happened, the 76ers beat the Boston Celtics. No one expected that. No one expected the Celtics to lose to the 76ers. And then look what the Minnesota Timberwolves did to the Denver Nuggets. No one expected your boy Jokic to lose in the first round. So
Well, I wasn't surprised about Minnesota, Jeff, because they've been in the championship the last 2 years, as I explained earlier. They do pretty good at playoff time. Just wish the Rockets would get some of that residue.
all right.
They don't do good. Jason, what you say about the NBA playoffs?
Let's see. You guys hit the big points there. I mean, of course, I thought the Celtics, that was a cakewalk, but Philly really came to play, and the fact that they came back from 3 games to 1, and also the Pistons, they came back from 3 games to 1 as well.
Yeah.
So their back was against the wall, and as the number one seed in the East, they won 60 games. For them to be pushed like that, I mean, that was a little surprising in the first round, but they did what they had to do, and they pulled off 3 wins in a row to keep their hopes alive in the
Exactly.
East.
Go ahead, Elanis. What you say about it?
The big surprise is Boston. I can't believe they lost. I really can't. I mean, everybody thought Boston would make a run and kind of had Boston and Detroit in the finals in the East. But, maybe that injury to what's his
Tatum.
name? To Tatum.
Mhm.
Yeah, maybe it hurt him a little bit. And so,
Right.
those things happen.
I
But
think Embiid coming back just gave Philly such a push.
well,
It
that
did.
that
It
too,
did.
it did. But when your star guy goes down or is not 100%, it hurts. It hurts. And then the West is kind of wide open. I really thought the Lakers are playing better than I thought they would play, to be honest with you. So you never know.
Understood. Phil, you got a comment?
Yeah, just waiting to see if any team from any conference can dethrone OKC.
I mean,
That's just the brunt of it for me. I think the West is always exciting because they're already good teams. The East has been pretty good. Like I said, that was pretty amazing that Philly came back and beat Boston. Detroit came back and survived being eliminated too, and they're the number one seed in the East. So I think the Magic showed they could do something. And then they fired the coach. I don't get that. I mean, he's got him in the playoffs. I mean, he's making the best of what he has. So, but that's what the sporting thing is about. Coaches, them that been hired and them that been fired. They recycle. Maybe this guy get a chance like the rest of them. But still just waiting to see if anybody can beat OKC. That's the bottom line.
They're
I
undefeated
still
so
think
far.
I know.
San Antonio got that number. We'll see if that transcends to the playoffs. Jeff, what's the future of the Rockets?
the Rockets, man, right now it's going to be very interesting to see what Kevin Durant wants. Does Kevin Durant want to stay with Houston? Does he want to move on? That's going to be the key. You have to get that decided first. So once that's decided, then you can move on to what you want to do next. If you want to be here and you want him to be here, then you got to figure out, okay, what else do we need? We have the mid-class exception that's worth roughly around $13 million. So you need to utilize that mid-class exception to go out there and find the best shooter on the market. You need somebody who can knock down open three-pointers. They have too many open threes, and they shooting somewhere around 26%. You can't win that way. They need a bench. They have to build a bench. So they need to figure out which guys at the end of that bench they need to replace with new guys. That's where they are. So they got to figure out what they're going to do with Kevin Durant and then move forward from there.
All right, Jason, Lannis, y'all concur with that, or what you think the Rockets should do?
I think he's pretty right on point with that. But
I don't.
what surprised me was that everybody's talking about they need a point guard, and they do. Your point guard goes down at the beginning of the season, and they don't do anything to try to go out and get one. And so they just relied on Sengun bringing up the ball most of the time. And then for some odd reason, Thompson started running away from the ball during the playoffs. And I thought he was their best option to handle the ball and bring it up. But I don't know. You know, I just think the Rockets did not compete like they should have. I believe they were a better team than the Lakers, but I just don't think they competed like they should have. That late win when they had the lead, Thompson ran away from the ball for some odd reason, and they just made errors after errors after errors. It was just bad down the stretch. I don't know.
Go ahead, Jason.
I'm discouraged. I'll be honest with you. I'm discouraged. And the reason being is, last year we played the Warriors, right? And the Warriors beat us without Jimmy Butler. This year we played the Lakers, and the Lakers beat us without Luka Doncic. So we're not even really competing at this point. We've lost in the first round 2 different years, which means we're not even in the first round against opponents without their best. Well, I'm not going to say Jimmy Butler is the Warriors' best player, but he was their second best player. And the fact that we're not even competing in the first round versus injury-plagued teams goes to show you how far off we are from OKC and San Antonio with Wemby now. So, I mean, back in our day, you used to keep your team together and give them a chance to mature together, and then they could grow and maybe make some sort of playoff run. Like you had to wait your turn, and then you learned how to win, and then you made it to the conference finals, and then you made it to the NBA finals. But I think we are so far off right now that I'm not sure if we should be patient or if we should tear this thing down altogether, see what we can get, and kind of pull an OKC, honestly. Like that's my go-to franchise. OKC, what they did was the absolute blueprint on how you build something.
Exactly.
Well, first off, they got, you trade for Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. That's like that was a great trade, but who knew he was going to be this great? So, and now they have more draft picks than anyone over the next 7 years. So, like, they're such a scary franchise. I kind of want to emulate that as a Rocket fan. I'd like to kind of follow in those footsteps is what I'd like to see them try to do.
I like to rebut Jason. Okay, Jason, I hear what you just said when you mentioned the fact that they was playing without Jimmy Butler, and then the fact that this year the Lakers were playing without Luka Doncic. But did you forget that the Rockets
and Austin Reeves,
5 of those 6 games was playing without Kevin Durant, also playing without Fred VanVleet, our starting point guard, and also playing without our starting big man, Steven Adams, who sets a lot of picks for the Reed Shepherds to give them those easy looks. Well, Reed's not getting those easy looks. That's why he struggled so much when Steven Adams went out, because Steven Adams would set those picks, and Reed would have plenty of time to come and look and see what's going on and take his wide open shot. Well, with no Steven Adams, Reed Shepard had to make his own shots, and that's when he struggled. So I'm just saying, we were missing key players too.
Okay, so, Jeffrey, but I got a question for you. How long were we missing Adams and VanVleet?
Well, we missed VanVleet all season. Adams had second half of the season.
Okay, so we knew going in that they weren't going to play. You got to make adjustments. You got to have next man up mentality, and that's what the other teams did when their star players was out. And not to mention, not only did the Lakers not have Doncic, they didn't have Reeves until the last 2 games, which he didn't really hurt us anyway.
Well, you can use that same argument for what I was arguing against his point. You make the same argument.
Hey, listen. He gave his, you gave yours, I gave mine. They all make sense to some degree.
And Jeff, I think you make good points, Jeff. I do. I think it's different if we have all 3 of those guys. Yeah. I think we play much better and much more competitively.
But we knew we wouldn't have them, though. That's the thing.
Yeah, how it being and all that kind of stuff. As an NBA team, as a general manager, you're supposed to adjust. There was
There you
plenty
go.
of look at what Minnesota did. They got Bones Highland, they got Ayo Dasamuso, whatever, and they came back and competed. Those players were out there. You have different players out there that they could have picked up. There's no excuse for that. No,
And they won
in
without
my
their best
opinion,
player, Anthony Edwards. They won
They
without their
couldn't
best
pick
player.
up those players because they didn't have the roster space, one, and two, they
no,
didn't
Jeff,
have the salary cap
no.
space.
I will
They
fire
didn't
you as a
have the
general
salary
manager.
cap space to pick
You a
those guys
no-win
up.
situation kind
You
of
have to
guy.
understand the
I will
numbers.
fire you as a general manager. You say no, no, no. I say go, go, go.
You have to understand the numbers. You have salary cap. You're
No,
lucky that
son.
you have
different
It's not
ways
always
to
about
play.
money, Jeffrey. It's not
It is
always
in this
about
case.
money.
It
It's
is
not
in
all
this case.
talent is out there.
It
You just
is
have
in
to go
this case.
get it. It was
Okay.
not.
Well,
All right.
they needed a point guard from the
Yeah.
beginning of the season.
Yeah,
So I don't.
they knew that. That's my point. All
From
year,
the beginning
wasn't
of the
like it
season,
was
they
a
needed the
secret.
point guard. I don't know why you don't go out and get a point
Yeah,
guard.
that's on the
And
general
then
manager.
I'm trying to figure out
easy to say.
how the heck does Durant play the whole season and all of a sudden he gets hurt in practice and can't play in the
Yeah,
playoffs?
that was kind of suspicious.
I don't know.
Yeah. Very, very auspicious.
It was.
Yeah,
Agreed.
exactly.
Yeah, a lot of
Make
people
you
said
wonder.
that he saw the handwriting on the wall and he just didn't want to be a part of it. You know, if that's the case, let's see what we can get
What
for him in
handwriting
the
was that?
offseason.
What
Yeah,
handwriting
on the
was that,
wall.
Carl?
Some more young players.
Huh? What handwriting was that he saw?
That they were going to lose because they didn't have the right chemistry.
Well, that's the defeatist attitude. You don't want a guy like that on your team. Get him the heck out of here.
Well,
On my team, that's how you
if
think.
that's the case, he should have gotten hurt the last month of the season and say, I'm done.
Yeah.
That's true too.
I want a guy on my team with that attitude if that's the case.
Well, yeah. I think as a competitor, you don't do that. But it's just weird to me. You play the whole season. You get hurt in practice right before the playoffs, and then you can't. Well, you played one game and you played that one game, and then that's it, and you don't play anymore. I don't get it. I don't understand.
Okay,
But
guys,
even in that
who
one
we
game
think
he
gonna be in
played-
the NBA championship? I'm gonna say San Antonio, and I'm gonna say Detroit now. Jason, who you got?
Let's see. I can't pick against OKC, even though you're right. San Antonio had their number in the regular season, and a lot of times it's about the matchup, right?
Yeah.
You could be the better team, but they might just have your number the way that their position players can defend you or what have you. So San Antonio very well could make it. I'm gonna go OKC, and I'll go Detroit also, even though the Knicks are kind of firing on all cylinders. I'll pick the Pistons to get there.
All right, Phil, who you think?
And tell somebody to throws OKC. Got to go with them. And I like it to be the Spurs, but they got their hands full with the Timberwolves right now. So they ain't putting them, they ain't finna crown them yet. So, Pistons seem to be handling Cleveland pretty well. And of course, New York is handling Philly pretty well. So when that conference final clears, I like to think that Detroit could beat New York in 6, basically because of the home court advantage. And I just think it's their time. So New York could be a surprise, though. They've already, their owner suggested nothing less but the finals. Maybe, of course, you get to the finals, you want to win, but that's what's on Coach Brown's plate right now. He got to get them there. So we'll see. I think it'll be until the Spurs can really beat Minnesota, first of all, and then hopefully give OKC their walking papers. But OKC is just that good, as Jason pointed out, and will be good going forward. So we'll see.
OKC has the best depth in the league also.
Yeah, they do.
Elanis, what you think?
The championship goes through Oklahoma City, so I think they'll make it back to the final. So OKC, and I'm going to say New York. The Knicks are playing good basketball. They're playing as a unit, and they're physical. They're playing some physical basketball right now. I like that. And so I'm going to go out and say I think the Knicks get a chance to get to the championship against Oklahoma City, but I think Oklahoma City wins it.
Well, they better get Anunoby back because they definitely need him to play to get there, though.
Yeah, they're playing right now. They
Yeah.
in a battle with the Sixers, and Embiid is playing. So right now
Right.
we'll see what's gonna happen. Jeff, what's that score right now? Then give us our two teams.
I'm not looking at the game. I don't have it on. But hey, I have to give the Pistons a lot of credit. The Pistons was down. They were down to Atlanta. And they were looking like they were going to get upset in the first round. And instead to come
They
back
were
and
down
win
to Orlando.
Orlando. Thank you,
Right.
Orlando. Then they come back and win that series, and now they won the first two games here against Cleveland and up 2-0. So they've shown me some resilience. So I like what that young team is showing me. So I'm going to go with the Thunder and Detroit in the finals, and I'm going to go with the Thunder winning 4-2.
It's
All
halftime.
right.
It's 60-52 at halftime. New York's up by 8, 60-52.
Oh, New York just came back because they were down at first.
Brunson got it going on. That guy's bad. He controls
that?
the action.
But
Who you
he's a
say?
liability on
Brunson,
defense.
Brunson, the point guard for New York.
But he's a
He
liability.
controls
Oh,
the
Yeah, but he's a
I don't see
liability
how
on
Dallas
defense if you attack him.
allowed both of those guys to leave out. What kind of sense does that make for Dallas? But that's another thing. You
they got
let people
creative.
move on, and you see where they go. Moving is one thing. Talking about moving, let us know, Brother Phil, about moving.
Well, at some point in time in life, if you live anywhere for any amount of time, what is the next thing you're going to have to do? You're going to have to move. And when that time comes, the company you should call is A Rocket Moving and Storage, a fine sponsor, a fine company that believes in this sports talk show that we are glad to sponsor. But we do every type of move you can imagine: commercial, residential, office. We have storage, and we also come out and pack your items if you need them. So give us a call, 713-748-6024. A-Rocket was established in 1959 by Herbert and Arlene Sam. It is second generation now, located at 3401 Quarter. Come by and see our spaces, and we can do a plan to get you moved and set up wherever you need to go at anywhere in this great city, anywhere in this great state. DeAndre Sam, second generation, is the owner. And give us a call at any and every time you get an opportunity to think about moving or know someone who wants to move. 713-748-6024. A-Rocket Moving and Storage. Proud to sponsor this talk show, Sunny Phi Side Sports Take with Jeff Walker.
We thank you very much, and I attest. I've used it. Very, very important and strong movers. Check them out. If you need moving, go to A-Rocket. All right, Jeff. We talked about the NBA, and the season is winding down, but WNBA is starting, and we got some strong ladies out there. Who's going to make the biggest impact out of the rookies? Do we think that's going to be Lauren Betts?
We're going to start with you, Philip.
UCLA, now playing for the Washington Mystics.
I say Azzi Fudd, the number one overall pick. She's that good. Of course, Lauren's gonna be good, but there's a lot of good big women playing inside. So she's gonna grow up a whole lot. She's gonna be good, but there's gonna be some women that's gonna test that game. This won't be UCLA anymore. So she'll come around. But that was a great draft class for the WNBA. And it's getting better every year. I mean, I'm impressed with what they're putting into the league. And I watch the games. I enjoy them because I can see women out there who understand every aspect of the game, rebounding, passing, boxing out, making the open shot. And the coaches are good. The Aces probably have a coach that's probably going to spawn a whole bunch of tree of coaches because she coached under Pop. She's been around the men. So, and she played in the WNBA. So
talking about Becky Hammond? Becky
Hammond's that good, brother.
All right.
That's why they keep winning.
And they are increasing the expansion franchises. You got Portland, you got Toronto coming in.
Yeah.
Well, Connecticut is transferring over to Houston. So the growth of the league is out there. They got these new $1 million salaries. Jeff, talk about the expansion of the WNBA.
The expansion of the WNBA, the expansion of the NCAA.
Expansion of the WNBA
The
with the
WNBA.
salaries.
Well, okay. Basically, what you have is you have the two teams. We had the one team that joined last season. Was that Golden State? I think it was Golden State Vipers. What was it? Viperies? And then, of course, you have two. Okay, then you have two teams joining this season. And then, of course, Connecticut will move into Houston next season. So we're looking forward to them coming to Houston because we really been missing having a WNBA team. This city is too big to not have a WNBA team. So we're really looking forward to that happening. So this should be very interesting.
What about the
and now the question is
how that's changed?
Say what?
The salaries, how that's changed.
Oh, okay. Well, you have Asia Wilson signed the first big contract. She signed a 3-year, $5 million deal. But then you had Alicia Boston that came back and signed a 4-year, $6 million deal. So she has the biggest contract. Hers is like 4 years, about $6 million, a little over $6 million. And then Asia Wilson's 3 years, $5 million. So those are the biggest contracts that's ever been signed in the WNBA. So it's good to see that the salaries are going up, and they're going to continue to keep going up, escalating. So that's really good. The women, it's time for them to get paid.
The season is started now, maybe tomorrow, or when is it?
I think it's tonight. I think it's tonight.
It starts tonight. You have a double hitter on tomorrow.
So it's starting tonight. We'll see how that's transpiring. But you still got Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, Asia Wilson. You got some of the more Paige Blucher. So you got some prominent players out there, and more are added to it this year. So we'll see how the league grows and see if these girls are earning it and respecting what they got, and see if the competition still is great and good. So we'll see what's going on with that. Now, Jeff talked about the NCAA expansion. Everybody knows it's going from 68 to 76. Phil, what do you think about that?
I thought it was good like it was. I mean, it's the money that's driving them. And then I used to love that first 4 out, because those would be 18 and 14 teams, 17 and 9, and they go to NIT. They gave them somewhere to go, but you too good to go there. So now it's just a money grab. I mean, 70. We'll learn how just to pick a little bit on the boards, on the pot a little different. Matter of fact, I think I came in third this year in my pool, so that was good for a $10 investment and made a little money. So I don't always believe that the best team wins in the NCAA tournament. And when you put more teams in, you open it up for a lot of more upsets. So they're following the money trail, and that's pretty much what there's going to be. Some teams that get in shouldn't, and it's still going to be some teams that crying about not getting in, probably didn't deserve to get in, but they're not going to want to go to the NIT. They done made so many other tournaments. They should have left it where it was, and you still had 70-something teams, because the 4 play-in games were not included in the 68, if I'm not mistaken. Even if
it was.
Even if it was, 68 is enough, is my point.
Right.
So now you're going to add 76. Do you do more play-in? I mean, how do you?
Yeah, it sounds like they are.
Yeah.
But I that tournament to me is the best event that we have.
It really is.
I mean, anybody can win it. You get hot, you can upset some guys and make a run and get to the Final Four. Anybody can win that tournament. I love that tournament. Phil, going to 76 teams, I'm pretty sure there are going to be some more play-in games. But, I like it. I just love that tournament. It's a great tournament. It's probably,
It's going to be fun to watch.
Yes.
I would like to see when they get to the Final Four that they go to, say, a best of 3 format. That way, that eliminates the upset where you just have a team that just got hot that one day. Like, for instance, with the Houston Cougars with Phi Side May, there is no way NC State would have beat Houston in 2 out of those 3 games. We would have won that. There's no way we would have lost to them. So I don't want that situation. I want a best of 3, at least a best of 3.
But that's the beauty of the tournament.
It is.
That's the beauty of the
college too. It ain't gonna happen.
Right. But that's the beauty of the tournament. That
that's what makes it so good.
And win it.
Yeah.
I don't want the team.
And they did come from the ACC, buddy.
I don't like that.
Yeah, right. but they were battle tested.
They didn't have any slouches on that team now.
And they did not creep into that final. They had a weird record, but they won and advanced each time like everybody. You had to win 6 games to get there. So, I mean, maybe not 6 then, I know, but it was still But they did what they had to do. I think they earned it, and we just made some bad mistakes that game. And to this day,
you go back to that game, the Cougars missed so many free throws.
That too, that's what I said. And there was a rebounding. They didn't box out. They missed some steals. I mean, Benny and Drexler, and the ref heard them. The ref heard them on some fouls too. They had foul trouble.
Yeah, and they changed their style of play in the second half.
They did. Yeah. They did a lot of things wrong. That's probably one of the worst games Guy Lewis ever coached.
In addition, speaking of the NCAA, I just wanted to throw this out there. They've created another rule just recently. It's called 5 and 5. That when you go into college now to these 4-year schools, you're going to get 5 years of eligibility.
And that makes
versus
sense.
the 4. Yeah. So you're going to go in, and the whole thing is to maybe cut out on some of the red shirt stuff and let these guys play. Or give them 5 years of eligibility to play throughout their eligibility. So that's good. It allows the kids an opportunity to play and not have to be redshirted. Or even if you're redshirted, you're still going to have your 5 years to play.
Yeah, that's where I was getting ready to go. Yeah, because pretty much got that right now.
Right.
But the good players are not staying anyway.
Exactly.
You have to be gone away from high school for 2 years in football to get a chance. So generally, red shirt, a lot of guys, that's what Arch Manning is right now. He's a red shirt junior.
Correct.
He got another year if he want to play.
Correct. But he's probably gone after this year.
He's out. He's out for sure. But he's been on the team for 4 years already.
Right. That's right.
As you know, one of the big things about college athletics in general is just the NIL money and how it's changing everything. Jason, can you talk about that a little bit? The NIL money and what's happening?
Well, before the NIL money, I do have some opinions about that. I just want to say I'm with Phil. 64 teams seemed perfect. It was just the right amount from what I thought. They threw in the first 4, and I've never quite got into the first 4 in that I'm watching these games on Tuesday, Wednesday, and I'm not like really excited about it. But I think this is an improvement on that system. So what they're going to do is they're going to have the bottom 12 at-large teams play the bottom 12 automatic bid teams. And they're going to basically have a little tournament on Tuesday and Wednesday. There's going to be 6 games on Tuesday, 6 games on Wednesday. So this will be a lot more fun than our current situation because you'll be able to watch basketball all day long leading up to the tournament. And some of those teams that probably have no chance of winning an NCAA tournament game will get some, because it'll be 16 seed versus 16 seed and 15 seed versus 15 seed to try to get into the tournament. So I think it's an improvement over what we have currently. So I'm kind of excited about that. As far as the NIL money, we have to slow this down. It's just straight free agency. And you lose your team, right? Because your entire team is turning over every year because everyone is going for the biggest paycheck. They have to do something where you can transfer once or something. I'm not sure exactly what the rules should be. These guys should be getting their money. All of these players they're helping generate millions and billions of dollars if you combine everything. So they deserve a piece of the pie. I'm not a fan of the constant free agency in college sports year after year. Personal opinion.
I agree with that. I totally agree with that. You shouldn't be able to move each year. You don't get that in pro sports, until you become a veteran and you're on 1-year contract. But you can't go to a pro team the first year and say, "Oh well, I'm going to throw my name out there and see where I can go." No, that doesn't happen. I think guys, when a player goes to a school, I think they have to play at that school or stay at that school for 2 years. That would be my rule. You cannot go anywhere until after your second year. And then perhaps those first 2 years, the culture has grown on you and you don't want to move. And so, or the people there at your current school can maybe give you some more NIL money. So it's one of those things where, you know, you have to tighten up the transfer portal to cut back on that NIL money, I believe.
Hey, Adonis, how you doing? Do you have any opinion on college athletics that we're talking about?
Um, I think man, I think it's fair that they can be compensated on their name, image, and likeness. But I feel like if there's going to be any rules implemented, I feel like it should go across the board, not just the students, but it got to go for the coaches as well. Because one of the things I wasn't a fan of some of these coaches leaving before the end of the season, or you have a team going into the playoffs without their coach, and they've worked so hard all season only for the coach to quit on them and sign with another team before the season is even over. I feel like that looks worse than what the students do because they still got games to play.
Hey, that's a great point. You know, but you are dealing with free agency and professional, basically coaches, and so it's kind of hard to judge and police them. But maybe some system has to become equitable in that context. So we'll see. Hey, Adonis, we have chosen NBA final teams. What two teams you think gonna be in the finals?
You know, I think it's going to be the Spurs and the Pistons. Honestly,
Hey, that's why we can. That's why I chose Spurs and Pistons.
You know,
yes, sir.
I heard that. I don't know how true this is, but I heard Popovich visited the Spurs in the locker room in the film room before that last game, and them boys came out there and put a whipping on Minnesota, and I'm saying, man, they've already shown that they can beat OKC whenever they want to. They're playing inspired basketball. Like when I watch the Spurs play, that looks like a team that they kind of remind me of those 9-5 Rockets or some of those teams that played inspired basketball. The Pistons, I feel like they faced their biggest test in Orlando because Orlando had a chance to knock them out, but they didn't do it. So to me, those are the two teams that I'm thinking are going to meet in the middle, in the finals rather. But before that OKC San Antonio series, if that happens, is going to be must-see TV in its own right.
Oh yeah,
I agree with that. Do you have a comment on the Rockets? We talked about it. You know, Jeff said it depends on whether Durant comes back. I said that they really messed up not going out there and getting somebody who can play that point guard position. Even if you had to get a walk-on, you could have got a good walk-on. They could have did that. What do you have an opinion on that?
So I heard what Raphael Stone said. When his comments saying that if you just put somebody in there that nobody has to guard at point guard because they're not shooting or doing anything else, it was not going to work out. You might as well have a superior player playing that position, and I was kind of baffled by that. I've been all about Raphael Stone and how the moves that he's made in place of Morey, but that disturbed me because the way I look at it, even if the guy can't score and he's just a point guard, you're putting the other four guys in their natural positions where they flourish. So what is he talking about? I was like, come on now, this is basic basketball here. You know what I'm saying? So I was kind of taken back by that. Hopefully Fred can get in there and do some things next year, but I'm not even, you never know who's going to get injured, so you got to have a backup plan. But to look at it that way and not look at it as your guys being in their natural positions, like an Ahmed Thompson. Look at how much Şengün fell off, not being in that natural role like he was before. Guys like Ahmed Thompson, Jabari, he didn't look the same all year because they weren't playing the positions that they started to flourish in under that head coach. So it's like, what? Like I was just thrown off by that. Like, what are you talking about, Raphael?
I agree with you in that, and a GM got his job is to find a way. No
I
matter
know exactly
what his situation is, he's supposed to find a way. Anybody else got a comment on anything that was just said?
I know exactly what he was saying. Adonis, I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. And I understand that your last name is Alexander, so you kind of think the same way as that Alexander right there. So I understand, but I disagree with both of y'all. You have to understand what's available. At that time of the season, it's not as easy to find a player that's available that can come in and learn your system right away on the fly, who's better than what you already had. You still had Amon Thompson. You still had Reed Shepard. You still have an Aaron Hollanday. Perhaps there was no one available.
Again, I would fire you.
It was
again, I would fire you. Bye. No, your defeatist attitude, you be gone.
Look at the list of guys who are available. You have
but they
to have
had
all
the preseason to do it. They had the preseason to do it. They had the preseason to do it.
They had the whole season.
I have a comment.
Who was available and what money they had available to them to operate under. Y'all have to understand the accounting aspect of the job. Y'all not understanding the math part.
No, you don't understand.
Cap space.
It's not
about
money. It's not about money. It's about a body that can do the job.
They were at the luxury tax throughold. They didn't
Jason,
have
you wanted to say
space.
something.
I did. I want to say something. We had a guy right underneath our nose playing at the University of Houston that got drafted in the second round that was making no money, and he played a pivotal part for the Toronto Raptors playing point guard, and he's not a shooter. He's getting, this is like Adonis said, we don't need someone that's going to knock down every three-pointer. Jamal Shead put the Toronto Raptors in a very good position to push the Cleveland Cavaliers. And he was right underneath our nose. And this guy was, I mean, if you're looking for character and you're looking for, a guy that has all the intangibles, he was our guy. And he was available in the second round. And we end up having no backup this year. So, I mean, there's more to it than the contract status. I mean, yes, contract status is part of it, but we have to build some depth as well across the board.
We didn't have a second round pick. We didn't have any draft picks. How are we going to draft? How are we going to draft the guy?
Well, it was last year. He didn't get picked this year. He got picked last year.
We didn't have any draft picks.
Well, where are the draft picks?
They had already traded them away.
They already traded them away. Exactly.
That's the
The G League is loaded with good players. I don't care what nobody say. They would.
So I have to ask this question. I'm sorry, I have to ask this question. What is Thompson's role? He can't shoot. He's not a scoring guard.
He's a basketball player. He can play a lot.
What is his role? Why didn't he bring the ball?
I think he did best at small forward. Actually, I think he did best at small forward.
But in reference,
jump out the gym.
Yeah, but in reference to what
what's his role?
Elanis said earlier about him running from the ball. He never ran from the ball. Jabari threw the ball away. He was standing right there.
That's because Thompson was going up the court, up the sideline.
But Jabari was dribbling to get the ball. But Elanis,
when you have a point guard, they would have known their roles much better.
Yeah, that's true.
If you had a point guard.
But that's my point. Thompson is a guard. Go get the basketball and bring the ball up. Why are you running up the sideline?
Because Jabari got the rebound and had been dribbling up and down the court already anyway. Well, 30 seconds.
But my whole point is Segun brings the ball up a majority of the time.
But that's by design. That's by design. Coach lets him do it. That's on coach.
That's my point.
All of that stuff was wrong, and that's why they sitting at home now.
What's Thompson's role? If he doesn't develop a jump shot, I say find somebody else that can score. He's got to handle the ball. He's got to handle the ball, or he's got to score. He only scores when he's flat.
But guess what, Elanis? You don't find many guys who can play defense like him anywhere in the NBA. Anywhere.
He's
as well as I think his best role is small forward.
But I'm just saying, you want to know what his assets are. That was huge.
You got to find a score. I mean, Durant's your only real big scorer.
It don't have to be him. He's had some big scoring games this year. Depends on the team they're playing against too. Marcus Smart made a lot of them look dumb in that Lakers series.
Of course he did.
And they had a chance to get Marcus Smart.
He knew Thompson wasn't going to handle the ball and he wasn't going to shoot it. Thompson has to pick his game up.
I agree.
He has to pick his game up.
I agree, but when you said it about most of everybody on that team.
Well, I'd say Smith, he got a little bit better.
Everybody on that team.
Well,
if I had to pick between Smith and Thompson, I'm taking Thompson every time.
Not even close.
But look, Thompson had. I mean, why? What's his role? What is his
He's
role?
a basketball player. You can get him to do multiple things. He doesn't score. We made that clear. But he does everything else well. Everything else well.
And he's only like 21 years. He's only like 21 years old.
That's another thing. Yeah. Him and Jabbar.
Oh, go get the basket.
They are. They're young now.
It was a lot wrong with the whole designation of how they did a whole lot. It makes me question Udoka as a coach. It makes me question him. You know, he got us to the playoffs 2 years in a row, but then you losing in the first round. So has he lost his mustard?
Okay, question. Would you guys make a change either at the general manager level or at the head coaching level? Would you make a change?
I'd give them all another year. That's what I would do. And let them get the chance to organize a few more pieces, get your other players back, see what they are about, and go from there. I mean, they've had enough time after this to assess the needs and the wants that the team can use as assets to win. You don't just break them up right now. That's what they did now. I still would have never made the Durant trade. I'll tell you that now. I wouldn't have done it. But since they've done it, now you gotta reconstruct what you have. The team constructed as it is right now, I fault the coach and the general manager.
Well,
okay, Jason, what about you? Would you make a change, head coach or GM?
Neither one. I'm a Raphael Stone fan. I think he's done very well, you know, over his tenure, minus us not having some sort of solution at point guard this year. Other than that, I think he's done a really good job. And I'm also a fan of the coach. I think the coach has done a really good job of setting a culture that you know, these guys have a desire to compete, which I was less, you know, impressed by the previous regime. So I still give him an opportunity to continue what he's doing, me personally.
Okay. I agree with that too. I'll give him another year, but I if I'm the owner, I'm going to tell him, hey, y'all got to get some ball handlers out here. There's a whole lot of ball handlers in this league who could have been picked up, and if this happens again, all y'all gonna be gone.
Quick question: If Durant wants out, it's gonna probably end up being a 3 or 4 team trade. My question to you guys is: if Giannis wants to come in, and we're moving Durant out, would you make that trade to get Giannis?
I thought Durant was a 1-year guy, or does he have?
No, Durant. He signed a 2-year contract extension.
Okay. Okay.
All right. So my question is: if Durant wants out, if he wants out, you set up a 3 or 4 team deal. Would you go after Giannis? If he
I don't think Milwaukee will go for that.
Well, I'm hearing they're gonna move him this offseason. It's just a matter of
they're not gonna take Durant though.
Okay. Well, he don't have to go to them. He can go to another team, and that team can get assets.
I would try to, if I'm gonna trade him, I'm gonna try to get some younger players.
Okay. It's going to be hard to do that. I'm going to tell you why it's going to be hard to do that. Because both teams are over the luxury tax, both teams are over the salary cap, and you have to be within 10% salaries. So if you're sending a guy who's making $50 million, you got to send out roughly about $45 million in salaries. So it's going to be difficult to do that with just young players. Just take that into consideration.
Well, some of you got some good young players out there, though, that are making a decent amount.
Yeah, but not young players making that kind of money. Not that kind of money. Not young players making not that kind of money.
Again, I would fire you. I would fire you and hire somebody else who has a can-do attitude. Bye.
You got to find some guys that's going to pick up their production.
What did you say, Carl? Say that again.
I would fire you and find somebody who got a can-do attitude. I didn't hesitate.
You don't understand numbers. See, he has ideas, but he don't understand numbers.
No. I don't.
Okay, all right. We'll move on.
The numbers can be manipulated. That's not the biggest issue.
Salary cap, you got luxury tax, you have to take all.
Let's move on, Jeff. Let's move on. We talked about it. Brother Elanis, I have a question for you.
Okay.
Are the Astros falling with the residue of not having a manager like Dusty Baker, or is it just the athletes? What's going on?
Well, they have some major injuries, especially to the starting rotation. Yeah. They have Brown. Seriously, They have Brown down. They have is it Garcia? He's down. They have some major injuries to the rotation. Pena's down. Pena's down.
Correa's out for the year.
Yeah.
Now Carrera's out, but he has been there most of the season.
I literally told him the same thing, Lance, and I knew the reason I'm laughing. You just said what I said to them. They asked that question last night in our little chat, and I ran the whole thing, and I said I cannot wait till Elanis tell them just what I just told them. So continue.
But with that being said, Phil, I now say, okay, now we got to find some people to replace these guys, and some of the guys that they were replacing them with, I don't agree with the general manager bringing in some of these guys that they're replacing them with, like the little left-hander that threw the other night against who was at the Dodgers.
I was at the game. That's why I'm laughing. I was at the day game. It was horrible. I looked at the lineup and I couldn't recognize anybody.
I was there, Philip, and I had the same reaction.
Yeah.
I mean, so you have to replace some of your injured guys with some more quality guys. I just don't think these guys that are there are major league guys. I think they're AAA guys right now. And it's unfortunate. I don't think here's another big deal. Everybody talked about how Maldonado, was it Maldonado? Yeah, that he can catch, but he couldn't hit.
He good enough.
he could catch, but he couldn't hit. Exactly. So look at it now. They got Diaz back there that's supposedly a better offensive guy, but doggone, he can't help set up hitters.
Well, Salazar had about 5 pass balls. They scored at least 3 runs on pass balls.
And that goes to my opinion, goes to the general manager. Those are the types of bodies that he's bringing in, that he's allowing these guys to play with. And so you got to make better decisions when it comes to bringing in guys that are going to help your team flourish. You got to bring in some quality guys that that, hey, this guy's got a chance to be an effective pitcher, effective catcher, effective first baseman, or whatever you need.
Lance McCullers just keep getting ran out there too, and that's tough to watch.
Yeah. It is tough to watch. I don't think. They ran Bryce Matthews out in the outfield.
Yeah.
Bryce Matthews has been playing second and short all through the minors. And then this year they decided, okay, we're going to run him out to the outfield.
He was amazing, though. I mean, he's looked amazing in center field.
But his hitting is so-so. He's getting here and there, but his hitting, he's like 214, 220.
He's a young player. Yeah.
He is. But I watched him at the Sugar Land. I went out there a few times.
I did too.
And no doubt he's gonna be good. I got no question. You keep him, you run him, you let him get through all the stuff. But right now, that Dodger pitching had him whiffing.
He did hit home run in that game, Phil.
I'm not so worried about him.
But after that, it was 0.
I'm not so worried about him at the plate, but I'm worried about him. I look at him in the outfield, and a couple of weeks ago, he's playing left field, and there's a ball that's hit down the left field line, and it's clearly a fair ball, and he kind of hesitated going toward the line and slid and didn't come within 5 feet of catching that ball, and the ball got by him, and there was some guys had extra bases. So what I'm saying is, he hasn't had a whole lot of time to learn how to play the outfield position.
Yeah, that's true. He shouldn't be out there.
And doing it at the big league level.
Yeah.
They're desperate.
That's the type of stuff where you say, hey, let's send him back down to the minor leagues and work on his outfield play if that's where you're going to play him.
I mean, they're desperate.
The culture of the Astros has fallen down. That's what I'm hearing.
Well,
what'd you say, Carl?
Sounds like the culture of the Astros has fallen down, where they're not a competitive team as they used to be.
Well, I don't know about the culture. I still think there's a winning culture there in the organization. I just think that the players that they're running out there right now are not quality major league players. They're just not quality.
That kind of goes to culture, though, right, Elanis?
Well, not really. It comes down to players. I always go back to the players. As a player, I always go back to the players because they're the ones out on the field making the plays. They're the ones that they're making the plays. So, you got to have the right players in place to make some plays.
Some teams, when they're missing a lot of key players, some teams just can't overcome it. Some teams can, but some teams just can't overcome when they're missing so many key players. It just is what it is.
It says a lot about your minor league system right now.
Yeah,
That's
it does.
what
which is a part of the culture.
Well, I mean, it is part of the culture, but they had an 8-year run here in which, I mean, if you're a Houston sports fan, this was the greatest run of any franchise of any of our sports that we've had. So we had to take a moment of just gratitude of what these guys did over the last 8 years. And
Yeah.
during that run, what they were trying to do was stay on top during that 8-year run. And so what happens is our minor leagues are going to be depleted over the course of that time because they're trying to fill in the gaps to win now because it was our window. That was our window to win now. So now we have to pay the piper. And we're paying the piper because our minor leagues are depleted such that when these injuries have hit us, we really have no one to fill the void.
Who was the
Exactly.
but how do
Jeff Luno.
I mean,
Well,
how did
Jeff
the
Luno,
what,
when Jeff
but Jason,
Luno
how do you
came-
say Jason,
Go
how
ahead.
do you say the minor leagues were depleted when Altuve is one of our guys?
Well, that was 12 years ago, though.
But
Yeah.
but what I'm saying is Pena is one of our guys.
Okay.
Oh no, we have done a fantastic.
All the guys that are our frontline
yes.
starters. They're all our guys.
Bregman.
He's
don't
more
misunderstand.
He's not more recent.
Yeah, but that's
So
true.
what
But
I'm-
when Jeff Luno got there, they were depleted. He took the time. They drafted Bregman. They did. I get what he's saying. He's right.
That's my point.
Yeah.
As a general manager and as a scouting director, you have to go out and get the quality players that will come up and develop through the system and become major league players.
Okay, that's fair.
Fair
Yeah,
enough.
I mean,
Adonis, you have a comment about Astros culture? He don't hear me. He's not there.
He got his speaker off.
Well,
I just
feel
want to say that all of
There
that
he
is a part of
There he
culture.
is.
Minor
There you
league,
go.
the city, and how they run the franchise. The general manager of the Astros, Mr. Brown, he has some good moves and good times. I think it just happens that the culture, and you don't stay on top forever. No
That's true.
franchise has.
That's true.
But we had
That's
a
true.
good run.
Yeah,
But the good franchises, they stay competitive, even in their low periods. Maybe they don't get first place, but they get second or third in a 6-man division. So we'll see if that comes back.
That goes to Jeff's argument about money, though.
Yeah, you only have so much money to spend.
Right.
You're not the Dodgers. The Dodgers are unlimited.
Exactly.
I mean, you just keep reloading and reloading and reloading.
Exactly.
Are you saying that they have the money to do it, and that's the difference between us and them?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But with all that said, guys, with all that said, the Astros have 124 games left to play, and they're only 4.5 games out of first place.
True.
So don't give up on the Astros already.
The West
guys.
is weak. The West
I agree.
is weak.
That division is weak.
The division is weak. That's our
4.5
only
games up.
silver lining.
Yeah, they still in it. We still in it.
Yeah, we are. That's sad.
And so Pena should be coming back. Hopefully
And
Correa will come back.
And we won
Hopefully,
10-0 tonight, by the way.
Exactly.
Brown
10-0
will come back.
tonight.
Beat the Reds. Yeah.
All right.
All right, guys.
Thank you.
We had our conversation of sports, but let me also say that my favorite sport, track and field, just had the World Relays. Botswana, United States did not want to run against Botswana this time. So they say we're going to wait to the World Championships. Botswana ran the second fastest time in the mile relay and beat us in the Olympics. So we'll see what's going to happen. I just went to the pin relays. I saw that. Track is still my favorite sport. Golf is out there happening. It's year-round pretty much. Tennis is out there happening. Still going and still going strong. I still talk about Michael Jordan is in NASCAR, one of the top NASCAR owners. Who would have thought that? But he has kept up his competitive juices. I would like for more athletes to find different ways to be competitive, and not in the way of Klay Thompson and Megan Thee Stallion.
Man, you
but
read
that's
my
a whole
mind,
nother
dude.
thing.
I was gonna say that.
Hey, Carl.
Go
Hey,
ahead,
Carl.
Elanis.
Hey,
But
Carl,
he said he did what he did because he was paying her $300,000 a month to be his girlfriend, and she wanted to increase that to $700,000 a month.
That's
and he's
rumor. I don't believe that.
Carl,
That's rumor. Go ahead, Elanis.
I want to share what Adonis said about Astros. He put it in the chat. He said, I think the Astros culture died when Dana Brown was hired. They started spending more money and getting less players in return. And I just wanted to share that since he put that out there.
Okay, well, that's a major point. And Adonis goes and checks out the Astros. He works with his company, Diversified Clothing, and they are out there at the stadiums and stuff. So he sees what's going on. I don't keep up with baseball until maybe they get to the playoffs or something. But now basketball, football, I'll keep up. Jeff, when does the NFL start?
Oh,
Jeff, when does the NFL start?
Yeah. Right now, they're already in the off-season workouts. The rookies are already in, working out with the team. Training camp starts in the latter part, I think, June, early July.
Right.
Preseason starts in July, and then the season starts the second week of September.
Well, of course, we always look forward to that. Now, last year in the NCAA football, we had a surprise team of Indiana, I only thought was a basketball hotbed, but they won in football. So as y'all talking about, any team can rise up. That's if they're in a major conference, we might see Stanford or Northwestern one year. But if it's not one of those major conference teams, it's kind of hard in football.
And that's going to
and in basketball. Too. But we'll see. We'll see what's going to happen. Anything else going on in sports, fellas?
One other thing I want to ask. I want to ask the three guys who have not been on the show since the NFL draft. It's real quick. All I want to ask, we'll start with Jason. What grade would you give the Texans on that draft, Jason?
Ooh. Well, my personal opinion is you always trade down. The people that are trading up in drafts are the people that are showing desperation, and they're always getting a little bit less value when you trade up.
Okay.
So the fact that they traded up a few different times, to me, I give them a C- on their draft.
C-. Wow. What about you, Elanis?
Well, to me, I think they went after their needs. So, and I think they got the best players that at that particular slot whenever they drafted for their needs. So I give them a B.
I gave him a B as well. What about you, Mr. Alexander, Adonis? Is he there?
He might have to type it in.
So
can
you hear me?
Right there, he got it.
Okay, it is. There you go.
So honestly, I don't know all who the Texans drafted, and that's for a reason. Because I feel like with this regime, I trust whoever they draft, because they seem to always get it right the majority of the time, at least in the majority of their picks. So I just kind of sit back and watch how they're going to put it together. What I'm worried about is C.J. Stroud.
Well, I think they went out and got somebody to protect him, and I thought that was a good thing. And you build up that offensive line and you give him protection. He also has to build up his confidence that he's in the NFL. He's not in the pastor circuit. So understand what you're dealing with, and let's get better. And we should have won that game last year and went to the Super Bowl, but maybe it's this year. And we have Davis Mills as our good backup.
Well, at least they had a backup that could perform. The Rockets didn't have a backup.
At least. I agree with you.
We got one of the best backups in the league.
It is.
He went 3-0 in his three starts. He went 3-0.
He sure did.
But Fred VanVleet didn't have a good backup.
He didn't have a backup.
and that's unacceptable because it's easier to get a point guard backup than a quarterback backup. In my opinion, that's unacceptable. And I'm not taking your argument about money, Jeff. No, I'm not taking it.
You got to consider money. Money is a root of all evil. You got to consider money.
No. Money by itself don't bother nobody. It's the love of money. The money by itself don't bother nobody.
That's why we have a salary cap and a luxury tax.
No, Jeff. All right. Hey, guys, we had a great show, and in 2 weeks, we'll be back. This is our 67th episode. We've been doing this a while. I'll always be reaching out to you and inviting you back, and we appreciate it. We thank you very much. Your final word, Jeff.
Hey, I want to thank everyone, man. You guys did an outstanding job. Elanis, man, I appreciate you. Jason Pass, man, you know we appreciate you, man. And Adonis, we appreciate you guys. You guys made our show what it was today. So we appreciate you guys, all your efforts. Okay?
Thank you.
All right, guys. And we'll see you next time. And you will get a video. And keep checking out Sports Take, your favorite sports show. And we thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.
All right, guys.
All right, my brother.
Thank you.
Take care, guys.
All right. All right, take care, Jay.